As promised, today I would like to talk to you about my favorite bass amp. This here little old Ashdown EVO 3 500 of the ABM type, which stands for Ashdown Bass Magnifier. Instead of me just blabbering to you, let's have a closer look at this amp and what it can actually do. Naturally, first of all, we have our instrument jack in and a control for our input level. Right underneath you have the push flat shape button. This is to add or to subtract the mids you have on your bass. Then of course always practice as a passive active amp. Next up, the trademark, I dare to say, of Ashdown Engineering is the VU meter. Just to show you how much you are actually rocking your bass. Nicely in the middle of our amp is our EQ. You have an in-out button. It changes between a normal 3-band EQ bass middle treble, but if you have it engaged, you add the mids with these two graphic equalizers, so you go to a full 7-band equalizer that you can set up any way you'd like. At the very end of our amp we have a DI out, which you can select whether or not you take the EQ of your bass with you. You have a very useful push to mute button, and if you go to the outputs you have a tuner out and a line out. If you use the mute button, the tuner out remains active, so you can always tune your bass on stage without all those nice EADG songs that people love all over the place. After the line out, of course, also the control for the level of how much output do you want on that stage where you're rocking. The intro song you heard was with my regular settings on. If you've watched my previous videos, you know I'm not a big fan of bass pedals. They certainly have their merits, but it's just not my cup of tea. And that's mainly because I'm so spoiled with this amp. You have a valve drive, you have compression, and you have subharmonics, which is actually the octaver of the Ashdown series. So let's have a closer look what the valve drive, the compression, the subharmonics, and a combination of these can actually do to change your sound. First extra we'll look at is the valve drive. I've put it on maximum, it's in. All the other settings are the same, so let's see what this bass amp can do with a little bit of overdrive. As you see, it's a nice little extra kick to your bass playing. Clearly a lot of compression works perfectly for this bass line, but we have more installed with this amp. Let's have a look at the subharmonics. particular, it's especially on the high note that you get that extra grit of the octave that is added. So it's a nice extra to have for whatever gig you want. Just not maybe always on the maximum setting. Here we have the valve drive on maximum, the subharmonics on maximum, and I'll just show what you can do with the shape button, whether or not the mids are in the mix or not. And now with the shape button activated in the mix, that's quite a bit of growl out of such an amp. If you compare that with the clean sound, you immediately see the versatility of this amp, and that's basically why I love it so very, very much. And there you have it. Can't remember what YouTube channel that comes from or what show, but hey, if it's good, I'm going to steal it. While I'm sitting here, let me give my one little pet peeve about this amp. If you look at the side of it, it's not that heavy, it's just that I'm not that strong. You have the 4 legs, let's call them legs, of the amp on the side, which is nice if you want to stand your amp up. The small grievance I have, this nice cap, also by Ashdown Engineering, has them on the other side. Why? But really, other than that, it's just such a great amp. It's a joy to play, and as you have seen, with all the bells and whistles that are on there, you really don't need anything else. So I'm not calling this my 2 cents, but there you have it. Have a good week.